Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Tuesday, September the 13th, race number 10 at Fort Erie. It's the second jewel in Canada's Triple Crown, the $400,000 Prince of Wales at a mile and 3/16. Before we get to the full preview, please stay tuned for this brief message. Want to view free Formulator past performances for this race? Head to the Race of the Day page at DRF.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel and bet this card with DRF Bets. Here's the field for the Prince of Wales. Please scan the QR code for Race of the Day access on your mobile devices. We have a field of 7 for the second jewel of Canada's Triple Crown. And the Canadian Triple Crown is unique, Mike, because, of course, the first leg is run over the Tapeta surface at Woodbine. The Prince of Wales is on dirt. And the third leg, the Breeders' Stakes, is on turf. Thus, in the Prince of Wales, none of these 7 horses have prior dirt experience, and that very well could be the key to the race.
Yeah, that to me it was anyway. I thought overall it's a pretty well-matched field, despite a pretty short price on the morning line on your favorite, the number 5. I thought the field was pretty well-matched, but you just have to, I guess, try to come up with a reason to like one of these horses switching to dirt for the first time.
And one of the reasons could be the pace, because the number 2 Ironstone is a very fast horse, and he might have a pace edge. Here's the Timeform US pace projector. It's a blue bar scenario favoring horses on or near the early lead. Ironstone could have made the lead, I thought, last time out in the Queen's Plate. I think they were a little concerned about the distance. They took a hold. They tracked a quick pace in second. He ran just fine, and it might be a completely different scenario here with him loose on the lead.
Yeah, it could be. We'll see how slow they go. We'll see if anybody decides to show some speed. Now, I didn't think this horse necessarily had to be loose, but I do expect them to try to make the lead with him early.
The number 1 is Duke of Love, and as you see on the pace projector, he has the ability to stay close to the pace. He finished 8th in the Queen's Plate over Synthetic. He's the kind of horse that doesn't change leads in the stretch. I liked what he did 3 starts back in the Marine. I thought he ran well 2 starts back in the Plate Trial. He's still a little bit green, Mike. I know you're a big fan of this horse.
Yeah, he is green. He's going to have to get over that at some point. Personally, Dan, I didn't think he ran very well at all in the Queen's Plate last time. So I guess you got to try to find a way to get past that performance. Like you, I did think he ran really well 2 starts back. And, who knows? He might have even been best in the Plate Trial. If he could have somehow gotten a clean trip in there, maybe he would have been there at the end, but it didn't happen for him. I'm a little worried about distance. I'm obviously a little worried about him switching surfaces here, but I do think his good race gives him a real chance against this field.
The number 2 is the potential main speed. That's the number 2 Ironstone. And he really is the key to this race, because if he can stay the trip, and if that Timeform US pace projector rings true, he has a major tactical advantage over this field. The worry is the distance. I'm not sure how far he wants to go.
That was my concern with him as well. And one of the reasons I didn't necessarily want to take any kind of a shortish price on him, but I do think he's a major player in here because he's speed. And like you, I just, I thought his Queen's Plate was an okay performance. They probably could have made the lead there. They didn't really want it. He was still, sort of hanging around about the 16th pole. Then he just got really tired at the end.
Yeah, he went after that pace setter. It was a legitimate pace in the Queen's Plate, and he took over the lead turning into the stretch very briefly, and he stayed on pretty well to finish 4th. Moira, the winner of that race, who's bypassing the Prince of Wales, she looks like a special filly. The 3 is Collaborative, and this is a big ask for Collaborative, a maiden making his 6th lifetime start. He didn't do much running in his most recent start, a maiden optional claimer. The runner-up came back to win one of those on turf with a 70 buyer.
Right. I don't see how you make a case for this horse unless, everybody else hates the dirt and he kind of likes it.
Fast Feet, the number 4, is a son of Tourist, winner of the Breeders' Cup Mile on Turf. He won his career debut at a mile on turf, then placed in the Cup and Saucer, $250,000 race for 2-year-olds. Still trying to find his way, Mike. This is going to be his 3rd start of 2022. He ran okay last time out against a field of older non-winners of 2 Life, but it was a fast pace. He picked up the pieces for 3rd.
Yeah, that's how I looked at it too. I mean, I realized that he, sort of took a step forward last time, but he did so with the benefit of a really good setup on a totally different surface. I don't know. He's obviously got a lot to prove here. I guess I won't be surprised if he runs well, and he should be a fair price in this race, Dan, but I didn't really want to bet him.
The 5th place finisher of that last race did come back to run second with an 87 buyer, albeit and only a $25,000 now winners of 2 Life. The 5 is Sir for Sure, going out for Mark Cassie, who last won the Prince of Wales in 2018 with Wonder Godot. Sir for Sure finished best of the horses coming out of the Queen's Plate. He was third that day. No match for the winner, but he was relatively close to that hot pace.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, I just thought he got a pretty good trip in there. The pace was solid, though, and he wasn't that far away from it. He's another horse who it felt like if they wanted the lead, maybe they could have had it in there, but they wanted to sit. All in all, it worked out pretty well for them. I thought he ran fine to be third. His plate trial was also fine, a little bit of an upset win there. But, that's the race we've already talked about a little bit. I don't think it's, such a clear-cut victory over Duke of Love, who had real trouble in that race.
Ice Road is the number 6. The lone lifetime win for this son of Keen Ice came for a $40,000 tag. He was claimed that day. He didn't do much running last time out in a field full of older horses. The winner of that race is pretty nice. He came back to win an optional claimer with a 90 buyer speed figure. Now back in with straight 3-year-olds, but it's going to have to do a lot better.
Faced a good field last time, but it's not like he's getting significant class relief here, Dan. And he's never run a race that's going to make him competitive against this group.
The 7 Hunt Master completes the field. He was in the Queen's Plate last time out, and he just kind of was outpaced on the second turn. He dropped inside, and he really didn't finish with much interest, maybe passing a few tired horses in the stretch. I think distance is going to be okay for this horse down the road. It's all a question of, is he good enough? Again, he's a 2-time winner, but his last win came going 7/8 of a mile against optional claimers.
Yeah, that's a real question. You're right. Is he good enough? They gave him a pretty good test last time in the Queen's Plate against a bunch of these horses. He was over 60-1, and he really didn't run that well, Dan. I mean, he's another one. I guess you could just argue, it's sort of a wide open race, and maybe he'll like dirt. He certainly got the pedigree for it.
Before we get to our top picks, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for all the latest DRFTV video franchises. Here are our top picks for the Prince of Wales. Mike, I'm going to go with Sir for Sure. I think of the main contenders in this race, he's one that I think is going to really appreciate this distance. We saw him look good in the plate trial going 1 1/8 miles. Even though your top pick, Duke of Love, had trouble, he stayed on okay in the Queen's Plate. And he's tactical enough, I believe, to adapt to any kind of pace scenario. If it's slow, I think he'll be close.
I do too. Listen, I don't really have a significant argument against the 2 favorites in here, the 2 or the 5. It's just not the kind of race where I necessarily wanted a short price on anyone, Dan. I thought Duke of Love might be the value of the race, but he's going to have to take a step forward here.
5-1 on Duke of Love, Josie Carroll, Justin Stein. 1-2-5-4 for Mike, 5-2-7-1 for me. Second jewel of Canada's Triple Crown. It's the Prince of Wales, your Tuesday race of the day at Fort Erie. Good luck.